You guys, welcome back to Betches Media. So bad it's good. I am still recovering from BravoCon 2023, but on Thursday night, I got to meet somebody that is just so amazing, so lovely, and was so nice in person. I was already a huge fan of hers from the first season of Real Housewives of New York this past season. I was already a fan of her hot sauce. I'm a fan of hers, but getting to share in a little tiny experience with her even put that over the moon for me in terms of she tried to teach me how to take a proper photo. She adjusted the settings on my phone. She was just the nicest human being that you could possibly imagine for being, I think, just a really uber celebrity at this point. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you, if you are not watching Real Housewives of New York, to somebody that has one of the best hot sauce on the market right now, the one, the only Ubuh. Ubuh, thank you so much for being here.
That is such a wonderful introduction. Can I take it to my e-harmony properly?
Yes, you please. You can use this. I'll follow you around town and I'll just shout out nice things about you.
I would love that so much. I need it.
I was just reading your Instagram today because you made this really lovely post about BravoCon. And you had said that you were a little tentative to go, but then once you did, you were so glad you went because it was so filled with love. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Well, Vegas is not like my jam kind of vacation, even though I love to gamble, but it's dry and, the cars are packed. Like, I don't know. Every time I went to Vegas, I never really enjoyed. I'm usually there like 48 hours and like, get me out of here, right? So when I saw the location was in Vegas, I was like, no, why? Why Vegas, And I don't know much about BravoCon. So the uncertainty of BravoCon and the location being Vegas, I wasn't really sold on it. I was like, I'm not gonna go. This is
you're not a gambler. You're not gambling like thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah.
No, I was like, this is just not my cup of tea. And it's it's not a requirement. So maybe I just won't go. And then so I talked to some few people and they were like, you have no idea. It is just fun on a steroid. Like, people just go there to have a good time. Everyone is going there because they love the show. Like, there's no criticism. Like, it's just a fun environment to be. Like, they were explaining to me what BravoCon is, because I think this is their third year.
Third year, yeah.
Third, yeah. With my accent, it looks like 30 years. No, 30 years, yeah. So I was like, they're like, no, believe me. Like, yeah, maybe the location, but also, you'll be in and out of the convention, hotel, like you wouldn't even know. And you'll meet everyone else from Bravo, like everyone in the show that you love, all the housewives and stuff. So then I was like, you know what, okay, like, this sounds like fun, like, go, and also the weather, it's nice, so just go. So when I went, I am so glad I made that decision. I have never experienced so much love and unity and fun, and just like everyone is nice. I'm like, can the world be like this? Like,
that's it exactly. That's what I was trying to explain to the audience, is that there's only few experiences in life where you see thousands and thousands of people happy and in love with something, because the world is so messed up. And it's so nice to be reminded of all of these people that can have a shared experience of something that is fair. Like, we might like make fun of the shows, or there might be dramatic moments, but at the same time, it was overall this really beautiful expression of love, and the love coming at you must have been so intense.
It was so intense. And what I love the most is they're like flying with a group of people. These are my best friends from high school. These are my neighbors. We love the show. We all watch the show together. This is my mom and, mother and daughter, sons and daughter, 2 daughter and 1 mother, a father and their 2 daughter. Like, it was so like, it's almost like us having our favorite shows, and obviously that's what it is. And then having a community with it. Like, I don't know. I can't really explain it, but I know that I'll do it again.
No, I mean, that's amazing. I hope you do it many times over. Yeah. But I can't imagine, because this is your first season on the show, you filmed this a while back. It gets released. You have all like kind of the online buzz and, things here and there. But to see it in person, how much your show is affecting people. And I want to point out, your panel at BravoCon was the most attended panel. In fact, there was a line to get in of people that couldn't get in to view the panel.
That. I was so shocked. I
Yeah.
had no expectation. I just went because I was told it's going to be fun. And I was having a hard time because when the Anguilla episode aired,
Yes.
not everything was shown, right? So there was only
Yeah.
one side. This girl's yelling and screaming about her phone for 45 minutes. It wasn't about the phone. There was a lot of things that
Yeah,
was
you said there's other things involved that we
yeah,
didn't get to see in
we
that
didn't get
moment.
to see, and it wasn't about the phone, and it wasn't about she said it wasn't. And I'm learning, like, when I got into this show, I just was like, I don't do drug, I don't drink, I don't fight with people, I don't care. Like, what they're gonna edit? They're not gonna put an AI and do things that I'm not doing. But I was a little bit gullible and naive that I forgot that they cannot just show you a story. They can just show you going 100, but they don't understand from 10 to 100. Right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something that I missed, And also, my story is really long telling. Like, when I'm telling someone a story, I'm like, then the sun was this degree. Like, they don't have fucking time to put all this shit. So I've learned, and I thought, like, oh, every bit of every argument, it would be there so people can make their own judgment, right?
Yeah.
No, that's not the case. They just take the hot moment, they mash that up, and then they let the people figure this out. And I think the fans were like, she was so fun and so nice and so all these things. And then all of a sudden, she's this hot temper girl. And I'm like, actually, no, I was hot the whole time. They just never show you the side of being hot. Like, I've never said that I was Mother Teresa ever in my life. My family, my friends, everyone in my life that I've worked with in fashion, they know, like, Ubuh is the nicest person. Also, she can be the meanest. Like, I'm so proud of that. Like, I'm not Jesus. I don't turn there the cheek.
Yeah.
I'm not Michelle Obama. I don't go high when you go low. For me, just fuck around and you'll find out.
Well,
Right?
I was reading an interview with you that you even said, like, listen, I don't like bad people. And
Yeah.
it seems like you're that kind of person that if you don't like how somebody's behaving, or if you think somebody
I
has
would
bad
say it.
energy, you're going to say it. And I think that's why, I mean, sorry to interrupt you a little bit, but I just wanted to say, even in those moments in Anguilla, I had already, and I think a lot of audience had fallen in love with you, where we understand, even if we're not seeing things, we know how Housewives shows operate. So I know that there's more there because
I'm grateful that you are one of those people, but then you guys are not online writing this commentary. But the bad apples, right? There's a bad apple and good apple. The bad apple are very loud. And I was very much, very, very disturbing of what happened when that Anguilla show, the message that I got and the act, like, the security of, like, the network had to, like, get involved with my Instagram, say you need to, like, put your thing off. Nobody can tag you, like, for a little while.
Yeah.
Because it was really bad. You angry black woman, you this, you that.
And that's going to be scary, right?
To me, it's not scary because you, first of all, you don't have a profile and your name is Pineapple 21. Like, you know what I mean? It's just
We see you, Pineapple 21.
Yeah.
We know you're there. Yeah.
I'm just so, and it's not even a Pineapple 21, 200, like, it's stupid numbers. Like, nobody has a profile, and it's like, and I'm reply to these people with my handle. Like me as Ubuh. And I hate bullies. Like, why don't you show your profile? Why don't you have your full name? Like, let's meet at the park at 3 p.m. Like, I'll show up there with a hot chocolate. Like, I am that kind of person. And so my family and friends are like, chill out. This is not, maybe it's not even a real person you're talking to at 2 a.m.
Exactly. Well, and they're wanting to get this reaction, and there's obviously something going on in their life where they're deeply unhappy. Like, I've dealt with it even on a, I mean, I deal with it sometimes on a smaller scale with this show, and it is because it's upsetting at first because I'm a real person and you're a real person, and these things do tend to get to you, especially if you feel like your full story is not being shared. You spoke about your family, and I always think what I loved about you and what I love about the first season of Rhony for you guys was that we got to hear more about your stories than we usually do in other Housewives seasons. And I think it's built a really strong foundation because learning about your family, you're from Somalia, you moved to Canada when you were 15, you have this like amazing modeling career. And now you have, since 2021, started to become a mogul with Ubuh Hot. I mean, what a journey. That could literally be some sort of movie. Does it blow you away seeing where you are right now, thinking about that girl in Somalia?
You know, it doesn't really blow me away because I'm a person who really believe like what is for you will be for you. And like we make plans, but God just laugh, right? I have
Yeah.
many plans that I made, they never work out. There's a lot of guys that I fell in love, I wanted them, but didn't happen. And then now that I know it didn't happen, I'm like, oh my God, I dodged a bullet. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell was I thinking, right? So I'm a person who just take every day as they come, right? And I'm just so grateful that I did this alone. I did it myself with my career, my job. But I keep telling people where I am in my life right now, I couldn't have got this if I went to any other city or any other country. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't exist. Coming to New York City with nothing, living in a model's apartment. I came here with 150 in my pocket, right? And obviously I did not marry someone rich. I did not date someone rich. Like nobody has helped me to get where I am. But the community of fashion did. Right? It was a recommendation from a makeup artist or hairdresser or a
Yeah.
photographer. It's like, oh, Ubuh will do this job really well. Or my client just put me in a contract and be like, we'd love to work with her. She's a lot of fun. She never complained. Like sleep, no sleep. She's always working really hard. So it's like me having this, just the willing of wanting to work really hard. I love spending money. Therefore, I have to make more money. Right?
Yeah.
So, and the fact that I love my luxury things, my like restaurants and hotel and travel, I'm like, nobody can give me these things. I have to work, right? But this opportunity, I believe I would not have got it anywhere else except New York. Like I am
Yeah.
so grateful that the wind kind of blew me here, and just like I'm not leaving. I'm just not. Like I love this city so much, and I'm so grateful for what you have given me, the friends I've made, the connection, the just everything, the help that I got in this city. Like I just can't wait to give back, and I've tried to do it every day. I try to like open the door for someone, paying someone coffee, like doing all these little tiny random of act of good like to people, give
Yeah.
someone my taxi when it's really cold. Like I'm just like, yeah, you have it, like
You're giving people your taxi,
oh
Ubuh? That's
yes,
good.
yes,
You're gonna
yes.
get catch cold.
No, yeah, and I know I done a good thing when I do that. I'm like, yeah, you seem like you're running to your kids. I don't even have fake plant in my house. You go first, you know. So it's like for instance, my horse is Oprah favorite thing, and we got to be for Uber Oprah
Which
favorite
was
thing.
that was kind of a surprise for you, right?
It's
That you even made it
shocking.
on Oprah's favorite things.
Shocking. Like so, people are like, how did you do it? I said, those 1,000 doors that I've opened for people, those tax in the cold days that I gave it to people, that coffee that I paid for that. That's. I think we got
That
disconnected.
no, I'm still here.
Good. So I
Yeah.
feel like people don't get it. Like people say, when you do good, good comes back to you, right? It really
Yeah.
does. It really, really does. And in my end, like I am a proof concept of that. Like me being in Oprah favor, Uber Hot being in Oprah favor thing, that's just 1,000 good little deed that I did. God just drew it in one day, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I remember in reunion, we were talking, and Jenna said something really nice that I honestly was like in tears. But when wasn't I crying in reunion? I think we're all crying like from the beginning
Yeah,
to
there's a
the
lot of tissues passed out at the
yeah,
reunion.
yeah. I love that we're very vulnerable and like very open up. Like we're very powerful women, but we're also not afraid to say that you're hurting me. She did say, she said, everyone in fashion, when you talk to them about Ubuh, they said how hard work she is and how kind she is, right? And I'm like, oh my God, that come from Jenna Lyons. Because Jenna has a different access than I do in fashion, right?
Yeah.
So she's in the behind door, closed door, where they're making the decision. And she hear these good things. This shows that what I'm doing the right thing. I've always known that, right? And this housewife thing, people are like, oh, how did you get it? I'm like, I took a job. Like literally, I took a job. I was like, this seems like a really good job.
But I
You know?
mean, Ubuh, did you? I mean, how aware of you were you aware of like the Housewives? Did you watch any of the shows? Because
Yes.
I think sometimes people get into it and they don't realize the environment they're stepping into.
So I did watch the show, the Atlanta. I watched Atlanta, I watched Beverly Hill, but I was not religiously. I don't have TV.
Yeah.
If I go to like my sister house or somebody home and it's on, I'm not getting off. Like I'm watching it, right? And here and there in Instagram, like I knew who these people were, like Kenya, like, Gazelle, you know, Ramona, like all these people, Dorinda, who I met, Dorinda, Sonia,
Yeah.
and Luann. Let me tell you something, Ryan. These women are hilarious. They,
Right?
my God. When the
Oh,
world end, like if I hear the world end tomorrow, I'm calling these people. I'm like, which house are we quarantined? Like they're so
Sonia's
much fun.
townhouse. Sonia has a townhouse you can go
I
to in New
mean,
York
I
right
was like,
now.
Sonia, like I'm telling you, they're hilarious. They
I
are so
right?
beautiful inside out. They are so funny. So I've watched them, but I've never studied. Like I
Yeah.
knew nothing about the background, what is happening, what's going on, the fake fighting, the real fighting. I was like, first of all, I didn't need that because I'm very opinionated. Like put me in any table, I'll be the first one people to know my name. Like, and I'll make them spell it. And I'll be like, don't confuse with Uber. This is Ubuh. You know? So it's just like, I wasn't afraid to go to again, this is why I am where I am in my life. It's like, I was raised with such a strong mom. Like if I told my mom today, I want to go to the moon, the first thing she will say, would you like to use my shoulder? She wouldn't be like, you don't have education, what kind of money? Like there was no doubt
Yeah,
that I can do
exactly.
anything,
My
you
mom
know?
was the same way.
Mhm.
Like I doing a crazy show about like reality show. Like she was everything I've done in my life. She has been fully supportive of, and I always try to remind the audience how important that is to
Yeah.
always encourage people, to
Yeah.
always don't negate somebody's experience, to let them
Yes.
go to the next level, and to fail. Even if you fail, you're like you said, you're going to get to that next place that you're meant to be.
But when you fail, that's what it's like it's like a snowball. Like you want to
Yes,
fail because once you're down there, like, okay, this doesn't work. Like, okay, this didn't work, but this could work. Oh my God, I can do this. It's like when you're playing a video game. That snake will cut you a couple times, but at one time you'll be like, I know this level.
yes. And isn't it funny, Uba, that like sometimes when you fall, after you've fallen a bunch, you realize it doesn't hurt as much as it once did. You
Yes.
realize that you're able to like, you're stronger for it. You're able to
Yeah.
get back up quicker. You're
It's
able
almost
to
like a
face the
game.
day.
It
Yeah,
turned out like a
exactly.
game, like try me again. How hard are you going to do
Yes.
it? You know?
Yeah.
But it really does go to the household. I think it's the family that you are raised, because we as children, no matter how old we are, our parents are our dinosaurs, right? So if you get encouragement from the home, from your family, from your mom, especially the woman who have carried you for 9 months, oh my God, nothing else will like ever be in front of you, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like that kind of childhood and that mindset. But she was very strict of like, you respect people, you respect people religion, you respect people individuality. Like she was very, very also a very like, she didn't tell us how to live our life or how to behave. She behaved that way. My mom went, I just got back from church right now. My friend lost his son. His name is Nico, a 17-year-old, like
Rest in
just
peace, Nico.
heartbroken. Yeah. She had a mass today. And I was in church. I was there for like an hour. We did the mass, and it's been 6 months, but now she's going to be doing every day for the next, I think, 10 days. People are going to go and do mass every day. And I'm Muslim. But there I was in church and do the whole thing they were doing. The only thing I didn't do, I didn't go get the bread. I don't even think I'm allowed to get it. But I was hungry. I almost want to went. I was like, is this going to be enough bread for me to eat? You know? But that's how I was raised. My mom
Yeah.
went to church for her neighbor's funeral, for her neighbor wedding. She celebrated people, religion. She celebrated people. It's like I came from a mother who was just beyond her ear and beyond her time. And I think that's really important. I tell my
Yeah.
friends who have kids all the time, I'm like, you are it for your child. Don't even worry how many school you're trying to get in and all these waiting lists. You are the teacher, the counselor, the everything of your child life, from all the way to adulthood. Did you
Did you
know?
tell that to Jessel? Jessel's trying to
I
get her
tell her,
kids into
yeah.
that school.
Oh yeah. She knows. She knows. Jessel. She has an African background.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That's where the roots is. Like you should meet Jessel mom. She is
Oh, she
an
was so
Indian
lovely
woman.
on the show.
Yeah.
She was so lovely seeing her on the show a couple
Yeah.
episodes.
She's an Indian woman with an African background. It doesn't get better than that. Like,
I
she's
mean,
very solid.
but what your mom instilled in you, it's like one of those things that I hope everybody is just basic respect for other people, basic
Yes,
respect
yes.
for freedom of religion, freedom of speech, those kind of
Yeah.
basic things without just completely hating, which we seem to be
No.
enveloped in sometimes.
Yeah, there's a line in the Quran says, "Lakum dinukum waliya din." You have your religion and I have mine. You know? So
Yeah.
there's a way of like, just, if I'm disrespecting you, Ryan, either your child, your religion, no matter what I pick to disrespect you, I'm giving you permission to do the same. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, why would you want to do that? Why would I want to
Exactly.
give you permission to attack me about my religion or my life, you know?
Ubuh for president. We're doing
Oh, no,
Ubuh
I couldn't.
2024. Ubuh
I am
hot.
not. No, I am not getting white hair. Obama did that, and he did
Yeah,
not so good after.
you said you're not Michelle Obama earlier. I want to get back to Housewives in a second, but I do really, just because I actually, no joke, and I've talked about this on the show, I use your product, and I just want to say, folks, by the way, I wouldn't have had the courage to go up to Ubuh that night at the Jeff Lewis party if I didn't actually use her product, but I wanted to tell her it comes in the most beautiful packaging that I've ever seen on any kind of, like, I mean, not even hot sauce, just in the packaging is so bold and beautiful. And then it has like, these jars, I've already started using a lot of it. And I even spilled it on myself because I was trying to jam it on a taco, and I'm like a dude, and I just really screwed it up. But it is, I mean, this is truly amazing. And I wanted to speak to, because this predates Housewives, but like, obviously I know there was a need and a desire for how every business gets created. And for you, if I'm correct, it was because when you were modeling, isn't it true you just had to like steam like boring chicken and vegetables without any flavor?
Oh my God. I started with like lasagna and paratha and chapati and all these things. And I think the girls in the model's apartment start gaining weight. And my agent was like, what is happening over there? Ubuh cooking. Ubuh is cooking every night. And they're like, what are you cooking? I was like, whatever we have, pilau, whatever. And my agent was like, no, steam fish, steam vegetables, steam everything. If you crave ice cream, you put grapes in a freezer. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. But this was like, when skinny was in, So fast forward, I was like, I can't do steam fish, steam vegetable, live in a 6th-floor walk-up in a little tiny, room that I'm sharing with 8 girls. Like, food is my joy. Food is something that I don't need to understand the language for me to enjoy this. And so I created the first habanero, the yellow tanzanite. And the people in the model's apartment who are from Australia, Mexico, Texas, Chicago, all the girls, United Nation, basically. And they're like, oh my God, we love this. We love this. They start calling it supermodel hot, supermodel yummy, like all these names. And then finally I start making friends. And obviously you got to bring something when you get invited to dinner party. I didn't have the money to buy anything. So I would make these hot sauce and put them in a mason jar. And people are like, oh my God, what is this? And it's actually better, Ryan, if I make it from home. Did you know that the things you make from home, once you do it production, you lose a little bit of the quality because you can't do massive with the same flavor that you do at home. It took me a year to find out that. Like, someone was like, hello, what are you trying to look for? I'm like, it doesn't taste like my kitchen. They're like, it will never do.
You've got to move into one of the production facilities and just live there and make that your home.
I mean, it's just the way pH and how it has to go through some other process. It just does. It's not going to taste like home. I guess homemade is for a reason. And so finally, I was like, okay, fine, let's try. So I kind of went into it, look into figuring out, the LLC, the name, the trademark, all this thing. I know nothing about this, right? Thank God to Google, though. All you have to do, how do you start a hot sauce company? And then you print the whole list and you start going check. Okay, I'm going to do this, I can do this, get a lawyer, do that. And then in 2019, I flew to Portland to see these food scientists to help me how to create it in a way that is not going to be too expensive. So we changed a little bit of like acidic, what to do. So I learned that also. In 2020, unfortunately, we all had to sit down. So slowly I start doing this, studying about it. And finally, 2021, I was like, Ubuh, just launch it. like for friends and family. Just do it. Just
Yeah.
do a little bit of batch, So I had about like 900 boxes, which there are 3 of them. And I did it for them to buy 3 of them because I was afraid if they try one and not like it and this my hot sauce is shit. I was like, no, I'm going to push them to buy all
That's smart.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And second, I looked at it in an environmental way. Like, I don't want to ship 1 bottle of hot sauce. Like 3, if you don't want the 2, give your neighbor. Like, I'm really into sharing, right? So it's like buy 3 and give the other 2 or keep the other 2. I don't care, but I'm not shipping you 1 just bottle, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I did it. And then in August, I got an email that I'm going to be in a Oprah favorite thing. I was like, someone is playing a prank on me. And there you go.
I mean, who do you think gave it to Oprah? Like, how did it come across Oprah's desk?
I mean, I wish I had that kind of information because I would sell it. I would have been like, come to my house, guys. I'll give you the mantra, write me a check. But I don't know. I really have no idea. I just know that I got an email and, they were like, send it to us. I already was sending to them because I thought they're going to write in a magazine, like the daily thing. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think they're going to put me on their magazine in December to tell them, oh, try this hot sauce. I didn't know. I know there's the Oprah favorite list, but I didn't dream or think or even manifest that I would be in it. Right? I just opened my company. So, but I do know the product is pretty good. So, because
what a beautiful miracle though that actually happened. And then I imagine that must have like sold it out immediately or
forget about sold out immediately. I had to produce Oprah Effect. They're like, can you handle Oprah Effect? And I'm a yes woman. So I said, yeah, of course I can do the Oprah Effect. Of course I can. I was so convinced in my heart and soul and everything that I could. Let me tell you something. The next 3 months after that, I have sat like a baby in Times Square crying because the box was not available. The glass wasn't available. We didn't have enough habanero. This production couldn't do it. And then I couldn't tell anybody that I'm going to be an Oprah favorite thing in November. Like, so this was confidential. I keep telling, please, you have to help me. Something amazing is happening this November. Yeah, but I can't tell you what it is. And they're like, who is this idiot? And it's like, my company, Ubuh Hot. Like, huh? What? We don't know what Ubuh Hot is. It Uber Hot? I was like, no, it's not Uber. It's Uber. Oh my God. There's like, how many times I wanted to pick up the phone and said, I cannot handle Oprah Effect. I quit.
Yeah.
Like, please give me another year. Like,
I can't handle Oprah Effect. That's great.
I was like, because everything was a shortage. This was like in the middle of pandemic, the effect of it. So we didn't have boxes. There was shortage of boxes, shortage of glasses. If I hear the word shortage ever again in my life, I think I'm having like a PhD. Like I'm just shaking. Yeah, they're like, we have shortage of this. I'm like, I am not short. I'm 6 feet. I can do this. So,
but I mean, you managed to do it. But I mean, like, I will say, like, and by the way, you guys, I'll put this in the show notes. Go to ubuhhot.com. You can put your email address in and they'll let you know immediately when they have new stock, because I think this is such a perfect gift, like a holiday gift, a birthday gift. I mean, I talk about a lot of like Housewives products, but this is a real product. Like sometimes, and no offense to the Housewives, sometimes the products are, they're almost sometimes seems invented for the show. So the thought and the care isn't there. This was predating Housewives. You can really tell the thought and the care is put into this. So it's one of those things where I was like, oh, this truly is a product that whether Housewives succeeds or not would actually be out there in the market, which I think is the biggest compliment ever, because I was like, oh my God, we even saw your storylines this season on Rhony about trying to give up a little bit of control or potentially bring other people into the fold. And you were having some trepidation about that, which I can totally relate to because this is your baby. But I mean, are you, because I like, why aren't you on Shark Tank by now? Like, why aren't you?
I already applied it. I applied. I know in their, I'm convinced on their audition they say you have to stand up, but I sat down and I did the audition for like 15 minutes. After I edited and chopped and already sent, I was like, there's no fucking way I'm doing another one standing up. So I keep telling my friend, I was like, I think they didn't pick me up because I sat down. Maybe like them, like I was like the shark. Like I was telling them I want to be the shark, and no, I wasn't. But I know what I understand. Again, everything happened for a reason. I didn't get a Shark Tank, but I'm with Bravo, which is like, it's a community that like really immersed me. Like, look at you, you got my hot sauce without even knowing who I am. And you're talking about it. And it's just really, really, I'm really grateful. Like, Ryan, I'm telling you, we as human beings, we're always worried. Like, what is your 5 years plan? What are you going to do? I'm like, be a good person. Work as hard as you can. Nothing comes for free, right? And then support your friends, support people who are on top of you, above you, below you. Your time is coming. Your time is coming, and you don't know who will come and help you, right? So maybe Shark Tank didn't work, but I'm at Bravo now.
Yes. I mean, that you really are. And I think such a big splash. And I will say, so like Ubuh Hot, full steam ahead on Ubuh Hot, right? Like we're in production. We're going to get new shipments out. What is the next step for you with Ubuh Hot? Because listen, I probably only have like $200 to my name, but I'm willing to invest. I'll give you that $200 right. I'll Venmo you right now. And but like, what is the next step? Have you decided?
You will get it, Ryan. You will get a supply of Ubuh Hot as long as I'm mom producing. You'll be the first one I'm giving to.
Thank you.
So right now, the thing is, when I went into Rhony, I had about 3,000 boxes. That's like 3 times 3,000, a lot of hot sauce. And they were all in Amazon. And I'm thinking, there's no way this thing is going to be sold out. And people are like, but I did get advice. Ubuh, you should produce. You should produce. In May, they told me this. In July, they told me this. I was like, nah. I still have so much stuff. I'm not putting money into products that's already there. I mean, episode 4, I get an email from Amazon. We don't have products. I was like, what do you mean you don't have product? They're like, we're sold out. I couldn't believe. So now I'm going back to like my production and all this. They're like, mister. They're like, let me tell you something, ma'am. Forget about now with like, things. COVID had just slowed down the process in everything.
Everything.
Right? In every industry and everything. They're like, you need to make an order a year and a half in advance to get for November or December. Because right now, every production, every company right now, they're dealing to produce the order that was ordered for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So they're not taking anything new, no matter how much money you're throwing at them. I literally double the price of what I'm going to pay them anything. They're like, we don't have schedule.
We know we can't do it. Yeah.
We cannot do it, So,
but that's kind of exciting because you can build that buzz. You can keep building that buzz because now there is a demand and the product's good. So when they have the product, they're going to want more product. So in a way, you're kind of in a really nice little area. And that's why I say go to ubuhhot.com, put your email address in because they will notify you when everything. I think that's the best way to go about things. Also, they're on Instagram. Of course, I'll put all that information. But it's kind of exciting.
Love this because we're changing the bottle. We're changing the bottle. We're making it smaller and easier. So you're not gonna pour it in anymore. I already got those.
So big guys like me don't just jam it onto a taco and spill everywhere.
You're gonna love it. By the way, did you use it as a cooking? Did you use it with pasta?
By the way, I did use it with pasta after I heard you to tell me to use it with pasta. Yes. I was listening to another one of your interviews and you were walking through because, like dumb me, I'm like, oh, it's hot sauce. I can just put it on these things. You can cook with it as well. I mean, it really is that kind of all purpose thing. There's 3 amazing flavors. I know I sound like I'm doing a commercial right now. I actually use this stuff. So I'm excited about it. But it is just a really cool thing. So I cannot wait for Ubuh 2.0 to come out because I think the sky's the limit with that.
One. Yeah, you'll be the first.
Do you have like 10, 15 more minutes or you rush?
Yes,
are you
for sure.
Okay.
I'm not breastfeeding.
I am. So that's bad for me. Okay, so I wanted to bring it back to the show a little bit. We just got off BravoCon, and you had mentioned before we started the show, you were talking about love advice. And I don't want to get too into your business, but you brought up on the show, many guys in the past, and it never seemed to work out. I don't know where you are at. There's not rumors, but you dropped that. Oh, hello.
I can hear you.
Did I lose you? Okay, sorry, you dropped out for. I said you were hesitant to talk about your relationship on the show. And then it started like there was articles about it in the last couple of weeks because of the reunion. I mean, are you still in a relationship? And if so, what is your advice for everybody out there to wait for that Mr. Right? Or what are we doing right and wrong in looking for relationships?
Yeah. Well, I am still in a relationship and I'm very happy. I've never been happy like this in my life. When it comes to relationship, I'm always a happy person. I'm always so grateful to be whatever I am or whoever I'm with, you know? Because like I told you, I'm very firm of belief that whatever happened that meant for you will happen, right? So just rest assured what's for you will come and find you. But I wish that someone told me this when I was like younger, less even like 4 or 5 years ago. Like just like, oh my God, chasing people, text them, texting you back. You start calling your friend and say, what this? He say this. What do you think he meant? What is the underline of this? He closed the text. What are we doing for Christmas? I don't know. I'm speaking to him in the summer. Am I gonna New Year's? Like it was just so much. Like there was so much question around relationship, and I feel like we're just not like where our parents era.
Yeah,
Like we
right?
so yeah, we have so much an outlet. Like I can go to cafe right now and meet a guy. I can just like add right now on my phone and get like a bambos or whatever, like and meet someone immediately. Like nobody talk at each other at the grocery store anymore. Like nobody's been looking up. I'm like, I look cute, look up, look up. Like
Ubuh, my mom always told me, always look up because you're so damn on your phone. You're not experiencing, you're not appreciating everything. She'd always
yeah,
say, look up.
yeah. So I feel like the first time in my life when I said I don't want a relationship anymore, that's when I found someone who my friend was like, oh my God, you never sent a screenshot in a group chat in over like God knows when. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have that kind of anxiety. And honestly, if I can give advice to myself, like the younger me, even just the 2 years ago me, it's like the minute you worry where someone is or why they have not text you in the time that you think they should text you, meaning like if they're
Yeah.
working and you text them at like 1 p.m. and you haven't heard from them like 5 p.m., relax, girl. He's working until 6, right? But if you don't hear from them until the next day, I mean, this person is not for you. And then stop the thing of be like, I've noticed it, you taking 24 hours to reply. Like they know they didn't reply to you. Like
They know
don't
they
just
didn't
they
reply. Yeah,
know,
they're
they know.
aware.
Just do yourself a favor, go to yoga class, take a deep breath. And I really believe in a prayer. I believe in the power of prayer, of like really ask God, like just show me where I'm supposed to be. Like if I need to focus on my business and friends and family, maybe that's what your era is, right?
Yeah.
And then ask God to direct you into that. And if you really like you really desire to have someone in your life, pray for that. Then just be like, or even when you go on a date, the first date, pray before you go and just say, God, if this person is for me, make it easy for both of us. And if it's not, let me see tonight. And guess what? This person, if it's not for you, he's not going to behave well with the waiter. He'll be rude to the waiter. He'll
Yeah.
chew loud. He would have zero manner. He wouldn't ask you about your family or anything. He would just talk about himself the whole time. The signs are there, but we don't pray for it. And we're so desperate to be chosen that we just overlook all these things because we go there with a different intention. I'm looking for a boyfriend. I want to be someone. I wanted to go. My friend is getting married in 3 months. I need to get somebody so I can have someone to go with, So it's like if you walk in anything you do in your life with a clear intention and a prayer, let me tell you something. The answers are like written for you, like someone gave you a pineapple pizza. You're like, no, that's not pizza. And I read all the books that you can think of. My friend's like, you are perfect. You don't need to read so much self-help. I'm like, I do because I forget them.
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
that's so true about self. I was like talking about inspirational phrases the other day, and I was like, I'll read like 100 inspirational phrases every day, and I forget like most of them. Like one
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
seep through every now and then. What made this gentleman different than every other gentleman thus far for you?
I don't know. He's just nonsense. He has zero and I think also himself too. He was tired of like people who didn't understand him. He works a lot. He's very good to his friends and family. He's just a handsome, quiet, maybe to say boring. Like he's just all he does is read and work, and swim and play boxing and
Does he
travel.
get a kick out of you doing Real
Oh,
Housewives of New York? Is this, I mean, it's
no.
kind of insane. I was talking to Crystal Minkoff's husband, Rob, last week, and I
Yeah.
was just talking about the experience of like, what's it like watching your wife do this? And then like these fights, you know, like, and he was just like, it's completely bizarre sometimes, but
I have to
it's
tell you,
fun.
isn't she's the most incredible human being? I
Yes. And I hope more
love
people can
meeting her.
actually, yeah, I really think she is. And I feel like
And
sometimes,
level-headed and
yeah,
beautiful. And
yes.
so let me just say, if you don't have a lot of airtime in Housewife, that shows that you're actually a really good person. You know what I mean? It's like, because you're
Yeah.
not messy. Like, you know, she's just so stunning. She's
Yeah.
stunning inside out. She's beautiful and level-headed. I was telling someone about this book that I read long time ago, The Four Agreement. And
Yes. Yeah. The Four Agreements. Yeah.
yeah,
Totally.
she read it like in high school. She's like, oh, I read this long time ago. I said, Crystal, that's why you're so level-headed. Like, this is, you know,
Well,
this.
every time I have a conversation with her, it's like a completely normal conversation. And I
Yeah.
feel like, wow, we expect like housewives to be so amped up and so like huge personalities, amazing women. But it is interesting when you're like, oh, this is just a normal conversation. You're
Yes,
very
yes.
level-headed. It's not to the like, you know, the intensity that you see in a Bravo commercial for housewives. And I
Yeah.
always think that's interesting to remember that you guys are all real people. And I imagine though, you've always been this strong, successful, powerful woman.
Yeah,
In the past, did you feel guys were intimidated by that, or did you feel they just were schmucks?
I never thought they. First of all, let's go back to what you think about what he think of the show. He doesn't understand. He said you're
Oh,
not
yes.
married. You don't have. You don't even have a dog. Like you are like you can't be a housewife. I was like, welcome to America. Everything is possible. You know. But he does. He's very supportive of me and his sister. He was raised with a really strong family, like strong woman in his family. So he understand. Like I can do whatever I want to do. Like it almost like I remember him. Like when I'm with him, sometimes it remind me of my mom because there's nothing I cannot do that he think I can't do. Right? Even
Yeah.
with Ubuh, he's like, you can do it. You can do it. Just take a deep breath a little, and you can do it. You know. So I call him. He's my yogurt to my habanero. He's the one who shut down everything. I'm telling you, without him, this Ubuh will be triple. The girls, they need to thank him because a lot of things when I pass through him, he's like, okay, but look at it this way. I'm like, but you need to. It's like, no. Let's look at, when you look at 6, maybe the 9 on the other side, So yeah, I don't know if the other boys were intimidated because I also think they were really good guys. Like they were just very lovely guys. I guess it was just not meant to be. Right. And some people have just different priority. Like I believe again, it's who raised you. Like some people maybe were never raised with women or so powerful and loud and they speak their mind, right? And in the beginning they love it so much. And then they try to, mold me the way they want me. And at some point I've went with it. But you cannot go and be something you're not for so long. And when someone doesn't, because I think relationship is give and take, right? And
It
when
should be,
you,
yeah.
and when they're making you change, you're giving them. But then at some point, the scale has to tilt. Like you need to be back and forth, back and forth. And so when it's too much their way, then I start feeling like, like I'm losing Ubuh. And it's no fun because I think I'm the most fun human being in the world.
But also it's amazing that you have such a strong sense of self. So you know when you are losing yourself, which means you're deeply connected, which I think is truly amazing. So would we ever, if they do a season 2, would you ever consider allowing him to be with you? Or is that like, you know what, that's very private? Because I appreciated what you were saying, even and I think it was the beginning of the relationship on the show that I thought, you're protecting something that you want to see flourish. And I can understand that. So is that a question in your mind at all still?
No, it's not a question. And I just don't understand why the viewer and everyone, I think we need to have a different dialogue in life and giving people permission to be free and feel safe what they want to do, right? Just because I'm in reality TV doesn't mean you own me, And I'm like, that's not, if it happened, it happened. If it doesn't, it doesn't. At the moment, the answer is no. right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I'm not, when I met him, he didn't sign up for this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I honestly feel like people need to make a petition, like family and friends who did not sign up for things. Like even with this celebrity, it's not fair taking pictures of their kids. Their kids didn't
Oh, yeah.
decide to do this, right? I don't know what happened to like every other law. It's so strong and so supported, and just because you're famous or you're making money through these things, then people are allowed to like be mean to you and say all these things. Like that's not right.
Yeah, there's a parasocial relationship that's very interesting in terms of even when it's good, it's great, but when it's bad, they feel that they can say anything to you because they've seen you on television or they heard your podcast or anything like that. And it's very interesting and sometimes frightening. But I think also another way of looking at it too is that I think a lot of these people love you and support you. So it's like, we want to see you succeed in everything in your life. Like we want to see you succeed in your business. We want to see you succeed in love. And I think but you're right though. Like Abe and Pavitt, they went on the show knowing they were going to be on the show. It was different. They had a choice in the matter.
And they're married. Here's the thing. That's what people don't understand. Yeah. They are married, right? Yeah. Marriage is a different thing. Where's Pavitt going to go? Where Eve's gonna go?
He's going to Vietnam. He's gonna go to Vietnam. He's gonna hide out there
to have his fucking sandwich. Like good for them. These men are married to their wives, and they're really good husband. I don't know if you guys see even half of like they're supportive, they're kind, they're wonderful, wonderful men, and they're behind their wives 100%. Dating is a completely different thing. Just forget about me protecting him or protecting our relationship. Why do I want to pee myself in television with a guy I don't have a ring and not married to? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, what happened if there's another guy out there want to marry me? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, they need to stop forcing people. Like, do you know what I mean? Sorry. Like, I'm not married, right? This is not for worse, for better, for worse. I'm very, very sorry. Like, no. So it's just like.
No, that makes sense completely.
We need to stop. I wanted to use the word, other word, but I'm not. I'm trying to be PG.
No, it's great.
It's just like, no. It's same thing. Like when we're dating people in a relationship, like for me, before I would meet someone 2 dates in. Oh, the third date, he meet my entire family, friends, my clean lady and everybody. And for the first time in my life, I was like, no, this is not happening. Like I want to get to know this person first before I introduce him to anyone. And look how it worked out amazing, right? Because then they know that, she means business,
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. 2 more things before I let you go. I could talk to you forever because you're amazing. Thank you for all of this time. I guess just coming off the BravoCon experience and being with the other Real Housewives of New York cast members and seeing how much of a success this show is in terms of the fandom right now. Where are you with all of the ladies? And has it been interesting to watch how, like, has celebrity gotten to anybody's head? And I know it's kind of a little different celebrity than like a movie star or a musician, but it is celebrity nonetheless. Has it been interesting to watch the other ladies, and yourself included, respond to this? Because I know Aaron will get very involved in things. I mean, has that been interesting to watch?
You know what? No, I don't know how to answer this in a way that maybe because I'm in it. We're just so overwhelmed and so grateful. And I really think it's because when we started, we got so much backlash.
Yeah, because everybody kept wanting you to be the old Rhony cast. Yes. And I kept saying, like, you guys we got to stop comparing it because it's apples and oranges. I mean, it's just completely different.
And for me, I was just going to be like, guys, we're not NBC. We're not Bravo. We didn't do this. They come and found us in the street, like talk to them, right? But it was it's the person of the face, right? These influencer, these people, they're not drunk enough. They're not this. I'm like, oh my God, if you want someone because they're drunk and fucked up, you need to see a therapist. Like,
no, that's why you were so great on the show. You and Jenna are two ladies that don't drink. And but you showed us that we can be just as interested. You can be just as entertaining. And especially coming off of like Reality Reckoning and Bethany Frankel and all that stuff, it shows that we can be invested in people that aren't, and I'm trying to use it like lightly, like sloppy messes sometimes.
Yeah. It's like, why you want that? That's just not. We need to encourage like the next generation, not to have them lose before they even started, right?
Yeah.
So we're just overwhelmed and very, very grateful. And what I love about all of us girls, like we were going to do just fine before this,
Yep.
right? So this is just another stone that we're very, very grateful and love and wanted to like call it our own. And then meeting the other OGs, oh my God, I have to tell you, Sonia and Luann and Dorinda, they're just, I'm like, why are they not on the show? Like, I want them on the show.
Well, I mean, their Ultimate Girls Trip is coming up, and it looks amazing with
I
them in
can't
it.
wait. I'm actually going to watch it. Like, I am so
They
excited.
got a
I'm gonna
fan,
be
yeah.
like, I'm gonna repost. I'm gonna watch. They were so much fun, and they were so kind. They were so lovely towards me.
I
And just,
watched you on the Showgirls panel at
were you
Watch What
there
Happens
in the
Live.
show?
Yeah, I
Did
was
you see
there.
how much I laughed?
Oh my God. It was the funniest thing I had seen live in a long. Sonia talking about having relations with Owen Wilson and it was crazy. And it was funny because I saw you and I saw Kiki laughing
We
and
were
I saw
crying. Like
it was so
by
funny.
the way, Andy was sweating, trying to keep them sit down. Did you see that?
No, I was like, Sonia can't be tamed. So Andy was like, come on, Sonia, come on.
And I looked at Andy, and I think for me, I had a conversation with him in my head. I was like, oh, I thought I was hard to handle in a reunion. This is full house.
Poor
Like,
Andy. Andy must have aged like 50 years every year
God, he
just
was
dealing with
sweating.
all this.
But he loves it. He loves it. He's just I don't even know how I got into that panel. I was like, what the hell am I here for? Like, I was so excited to be there. So excited. Did you see I sat down and my dress cut a pillow?
Yes. Yeah. It's you cut on the pillow. Yeah, I did see that. My buddy Dylan actually saw that up close because I was a little further back. Yeah. And that was so fun. I mean,
I was like, I like them big, but I like them big and round. Yeah. But that's how much I was having fun. I didn't even know how to pillow in my ass. Like it was such a good panel. It was
it was. I mean, it was really cleansing. I was like laughing so much, which is what we need more of. But Giselle even brought you up though, saying she had given you advice going into that reunion of saying you were like almost like not wanting to show up potentially, and because Giselle was like, "What are you doing?"
No, because I didn't see the other 4 episodes. Where I found very hurtful how Jenna said, oh, I saw a side of Ubuh switch. I'm like, girl, I didn't switch, and it wasn't about my makeup. She said that she wanted to be makeup ready. I'm like, girl, are you kidding me? I came out of my mom's vagina perfect. Like, I don't need to have makeup. It's courtesy. It's just principle. Like, if I'm going to work, I'm going to work, right? It's like don't make an excuse. And like my phone in Anguilla was not a prank. This you're trying to backpedal. Like, prank, I was already being thrown in a pool. Like, you are trying to correct your gaslighting and say that, oh, it's a prank. Like, don't do that. Like, don't do that. Like, own your responsibility, So I didn't see the other episode. So I told Giselle, she's like, oh my God, it's coming up. How it's going to be? Because she thought maybe I have notes already. I was like, girl, I'm going to bring some popcorn and sit in a corner. I have no beef with none of them. Like, I'm good with all the girls. And she's like, no, you're not going to do that. This is not a movie. You're not going to be watching a movie. You are in the movie. You have to speak up.
You are the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, you have to speak up. But I didn't know that I'm going to go that hurt. Like, I literally had no idea.
Yeah, because you came in so hot, like right out of the gate. And you, like, for Jenna immediately, like 2 times in the beginning, you even redirected the conversation towards that. And I was like,
so
oh my
God.
God.
I was so bored with like, hi, how are you? How is the weather? I was like, I don't have fucking time for this shit. Like, I'm done with you guys. Like, conflict resolution. I'm like, conflict coffin, bitch, like, talk. I was just so.
But you guys ended up having conflict resolution.
Yeah,
you did. You all.
Oh my God. It was a huge therapist. I was like, listen, if Andy retired this, he should just be like a house name therapist. Like, I'll go to his office. He's so good. He's so good at
He is, dude. He is such a hero of mine.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot imagine how he's able to do good interviews, but also handle so many different personalities.
Yeah.
People don't realize
Without taking sides. Like he's
yeah.
like, I think he is a father now, and I think he's gonna be a really good father going on, like in the future, because he has a way. He's almost like a politician. He has a way of like
Yes.
listen to the case and not taking sides, like journalists and stuff. That's a
And
very
that's so
tough.
hard. It's
Yeah,
so
that's
hard to
very
not
tough.
take a side.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially
finally,
because sometimes it's so ridiculous. You're like, girl, I'm just gonna,
yeah.
yeah. But he doesn't. He doesn't. And he at the end, he wants resolution, right? He wants
Yeah.
the conflict to end. So I left out of reunion feeling great and everything was okay. And of course, the internet have its own,
Yeah.
mind and the
That's what it
editing.
does.
So I'm glad I went to BravoCon because I was like, fuck Pineapple 21. Like BravoCon is my
Yeah,
top.
you're not getting in the DMs this time, Pineapple
Yeah,
21.
no.
And finally, and just because listen, I was personally so moved when you talked about your mom. I lost my mom 3 months ago, and she was such a huge supporter of this show, and she would always come on, and I would make her watch Housewives and Vanderpump with me and stuff. And I just want to say, your journey, even though it's been a while, obviously, really moved me. And I remember even talking to my audience and just saying, it's sometimes hard to watch, your emotions are still so real and raw. And I get scared for the future because I know that it'll always be real and raw. But I wanted to thank you for that journey. And I know I was reading your Instagram post. I know probably a lot of people shared things like this with you. But thank you. This is what I love about the Housewives. It can be about fighting and humor, but at the same time, there's these very real things that hit you at the right moment when you need to hear something or you need to hear somebody being honored. And I just loved how you spoke and still speak about your mom and keep her legacy alive. But I just wanted to thank you for that personally while I had you.
Okay, Ryan. Now my lashes and my fake lashes. Oh my God.
Oh, I can't even see Ubuh, you guys. See, this is not on an image. So I just wanted to, sorry to ruin your lashes.
No, you did not. You did not.
Yeah.
I actually, I'm very grateful that you open up and just because you're a guy. You guys are not allowed to open up most of the time. And so it's very beautiful to hear you say this. But what I can say is, aren't you lucky? Aren't you lucky you got to do all these things with her? Aren't you lucky that you did these things? Imagine the people who didn't,
Yeah,
right?
no, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah. I mean,
So,
that's
so
100% it. I have a
it,
lifetime of memories that I'm really
yeah,
lucky to have.
yeah. Oh my God, Ryan.
But
And you didn't lose her. You just get an angel. She's with you all the time, and you can talk to her. Because I do that with my mom all the time, and everything she have teach you, it's like it shows. It's so visibly in your eyes, in your voice, right?
yeah,
She's a part of you, and she'll always be a part of you. And I'm just so proud that you had all these memories with her. And because if you didn't, Ryan, you wouldn't even be able to do this interview today.
yeah,
And that's what I'm trying to force people. Make memories. Cut your ego. That woman carry you for 9 months in their stomach. Every time you move, every time something happened, they freaked out, right? It's like just no matter how difficult your mom is, when they're gone, it's actually going to be worse. So it's good that you have the memory, and I love that you used to watch the show with her. And I'm really, really sorry you're going through because it's very like raw for you. Jenna and Sai also, they lost their mother very like early on, like when we
in
start
the filming,
filming and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah, and I think this is why I made our cast the way we are. It's listen, when it knocks your door, you are completely a different human being, and
yeah,
you're just gonna get better and better and better because you now gonna be living knowing that you are a son of your mom. So everything you do, you're gonna be doing on the lens of your mom, and that's an honor to grow up and to know her, because there's some people who lose their mother when they just born and they
yeah,
never get to see their mother, right? That's what
yeah,
saved me, to know that I didn't lose my mom when I didn't know anything. I remember everything about my mom, right? And I feel like you are going through that. Oh, Ryan, I wish I was with you. I'll give you a big, big hug.
No, I'm sorry. I don't want to make you
No,
uncomfortable. I just
no,
wanted
no,
to
it's
share
not
that.
uncomfortable, not uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I invite this conversation a lot because I literally am a spokesperson of parents. Like every friend of mine, they know every time they have a conflict with their parents, they call me and they know exactly what I'm going to say, but still they call, you know? It's like there's no negotiating. Your parents are your parents. You can't stand them, move out another country and just call them every Sunday. Like, do whatever you
Yeah.
can in life to avoid them being mad at you or you being mad at them. It's not worth it. We're so
Yeah.
fragile. We're so fragile. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. But I was just talking because our Thanksgiving's next week. It's our first holiday without mom, and we were just talking about. I was talking with my sister last night. Like we're going into this thing, and we don't know what it's like because like your mom, my mom was everything. I mean, she did it all, and we were like, how do we go through this? But we're going to go through it together as a family, and we know it's going to be weird and different. But I just wanted to say that while I had you because I loved hearing about your mom every time you brought her up. And I loved all the other women's stories as well. Ubuh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, who you are as a real person. I appreciate you on the show. I appreciate you as a businesswoman. And you guys, I'm telling you, go sign up at ubuhhot.com. Put your email address in because you will be purchasing this product when it is available. I'm telling you, it is going to be perfect to add to your kitchen ASAP. And Ubuh, what else is coming up? I mean, because I know you're involved in charity work. I know you're a model. I know you hopefully you're going to film season 2 of Rhony at some point. What else do we need to know of all things Ubuh?
Well, right now, I need to go back into painting. I paint for fun, and I haven't done that in like 4 months. Even my classmate, they gave me a card from a painting store, and I don't even know how much is in it. I need to start go and do that. And
what if they only gave you like $10? It's like a $10 gift certificate. There's like it's $10.
These girls are big spender. I'm sure there's a few thousand in there. I'm gonna have huge canvas. I think I'm gonna do that this winter, and I really just wanted to rest. I haven't rested. Even though we finished film long time ago and wrapped up, but oh my God, when the show was airing every day, you're like, okay, what else? What else
is what are you gonna wake up to?
What am
today?
I waking up to today? Yeah. So I need to rest. I want to rest. I'm so looking forward for Thanksgiving. I'm so looking forward for Christmas. And just holidays. I'm really looking forward to holiday lights. I'm looking forward to walking in winter with my jacket and drink hot chocolate and just
giving up your taxi to other people while you're cold on the street with your hot cocoa.
Yes. I know how to rest. I know how to work hard and I know how to rest. And I think this next 2 months, I just want to rest. Obviously, Ubuh Hot is already in production. It's going to happen in end of January. So that's I'm not worried about. We're on the schedule of production. So that's great.
Yeah.
I just wanted to relax. I don't maybe read. So that's
Thank you for being so open with this conversation. It was an honor. I know you didn't have to do this. I hope to see you again in person someday.
Yes,
and I just
can't wait.
I wish you the most rest of all this holiday season. Happy Brinsgiving too, as well, you guys. Happy Brinsgiving.
Yes,
and I hope to talk to you at some other point down the line.
Yes, for sure, Ryan. And I'll have you in my prayer and my thoughts.
Thank you.